Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm gonna be reading Am I the A-hole comments on Reddit. So let's just get right into it. Let me get comfortable. I'm sat. Okay, the first one is, am I the a-hole for telling my daughter she doesn't have the right to mourn or go to her ex's funeral after what she did? Here we go. New account since my daughter does know my other account. When my daughter was in school, she became friends with a girl named Kelly. They stayed close through college, and my daughter was one of Kelly's bridesmaids when she got married. To explain where my daughter's behavior came from, my ex-husband cheated on me repeatedly, and our marriage ended horribly. My daughter doesn't speak to her father anymore, and she absolutely despises cheating. You know, fair. W for the daughter, fair. About 7 years ago, my daughter became convicted that Kelly was cheating on her husband. She started harassing Kelly online and essentially blew up her life. By the time my daughter found out that the man she had seen Kelly with was actually a relative, they were at a fancy restaurant together. It was too late. Kelly's marriage had already fallen apart. That's terrible. And because we live in a very religious community, she was, I don't know how to say that word. I'm just going to say criticized by many people because I don't know how to say that word. They had a huge falling out, and it basically came down to my daughter ruining Kelly's life. Fair. Kelly blocked her on everything and eventually moved away. Kelly hated my daughter after that, and so did her mother. Ooh. I run into Kelly's mother occasionally. She has made her feelings about my daughter very clear. The issue is that Kelly recently passed away. My daughter found out through Facebook, through a Facebook post, and the funeral is this week, 2 states away. My daughter was planning to attend the funeral, and I told her I thought it was a terrible idea. So she said she needed to go, and I told her again that she shouldn't. We got into an argument, and she said she had every right to mourn her friend and attend the funeral. I told her that she didn't really have the right to mourn Kelly or go to the funeral, because Kelly hated her after everything that happened. Because my daughter destroyed her life. She hasn't spoken to me since. Now I'm wondering if I lost my nail. She hasn't spoken to me since now. She hasn't spoken to me since. Now I'm wondering if I should warn Kelly's family that my daughter might show up at the funeral, or that I might be in the wrong here. You're not the a-hole. In my opinion, if my friend was allegedly having another relationship and cheating on the partner, first of all, I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I'm going to, I'm not going to, jump to conclusions. And the fact that you blew up her life is just crazy to me. The mom is not the a-hole in this situation. I think it's the daughter. Because why are you wanting to attend your ex-friend's funeral when you made her life miserable? No, you're not the a-hole. Verdict solved. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the next one. Am I the a-hole for making my daughter pay back $6,000 for destroying her stepsister's purse? If she did it by accident, then I wouldn't. But, okay, let's read. When my daughter was around 10, I remarried to her stepmom. Okay, so this is the dad, okay. When my daughter was around 10, I remarried to her stepmom, who had her own daughter who was 9. They got along for the most part until recently. In short, my daughter is jealous. I call any daughter Ash. My stepdaughter has recently reconnected with her grandparents. on her father's side. The grandparents have money to burn and are retired. I want to point out that before she came into the picture, my daughter was the one to receive the nicer gifts from her mom's side of the family. So the issue has been Ash has been jealous of Emma recently because Emma's grandparents are giving her stuff. That stuff will sometimes be in our home. I'm not going to ban her bringing her gift to her places. She lives at 50% of the time. One example is Emma got the newest iPhone and my daughter wanted her iPhone upgraded. I told her we don't have money at the moment, so she said it was unfair. His stepsister got the newest phone. She wasn't very happy. We had a conversation and I brought up the stuff she has gone, but Emma hasn't over the years. Ash is 16. Emma is 15. Emma's grandparents got her a $6,000 purse for back to school. That is insane. A $6,000 purse. Oh my gosh. I don't get it, but Emma seemed to really like and that she is using it. That doesn't make sense. It's her first real purse. My daughter was jealous when she saw it. She knew the brand. Ash asked if she can borrow it and Emma told her no. They got into an argument. I stopped and told her it was Emma's. Well, Ash decided to destroy the purse. Okay, I'm stopping there because that just describes the whole story. No, you're not the a-hole for, what even is the story called? You're not the a-hole for making your daughter pay back $6,000 for destroying her stepsister's purse. Listen, I can understand like the jealousy because some families aren't going to be that wealthy and then some families are going to be wealthy. I get that. But there is no need, if your parents get you a $6,000 purse, which is just insane to me because it's just insane. But anyway, that's not the point. If you're gonna purposely destroy your stepsister's purse because you're jealous, but then you get a lot of nice items, you're the a-hole. So the dad is not the a-hole in this story at all. Okay, next story. Okay, I gotta read this one. It says, am I the a-hole for telling a student that she's easy to get with? Y'all, I'm scared for this one. I recently graduated from college with my teaching degree, and with my first teaching job was an alternative school setting, i.e. students that were either kicked out of regular school or had a life situation that prevented them from attending regular school. All of these students were roughly 17 years old. I am a 30-year-old man. What is wrong with you? One female student in particular would get into fights in the bathroom, calling other girls, I'm not going to say that word, and making fun of them, which escalated into closed hearings, suspensions, etc. One day, this student was gossiping about another girl who was out of the room, and that anyone with said girl should just hit and quit because she's a blank. We're just gonna say that. When I told her that it's not something she should be talking about, especially behind the girl's back, she started attacking me, saying that her and her friends, saying that she and her friends get way more action than I'll ever see, and that I'm just jealous because I want to get laid. At this point, I took her aside and told her that maybe a person's self-worth shouldn't be measured by his amount of partners, and that there was a huge contradiction in her making fun of others. How would she feel if others talked about her that way behind her back? Based on how she talked to class, it would be very easy to stereotype her in that way. This seemed to stop her behavior for a while, but a month later she brought it up in a disastrous way. While testing, she refused to stop talking or put her phone away, and I had to eject her from the class upon going to the principal's office and arguing there. It led to her getting suspended. After this happened, she stormed back to my room and said, "You think you can call me blank and kick me out? You're gonna get your butt beat one day." This riled up the students. Everyone started saying, Mr. X called a student, This riled up all the students. Everyone started saying, Mr. X called a student blank. And the principal basically had to come and shut everything down. I thought it ended here, but the student went home and told her mom after the suspension that I had made fun of her inappropriately. And her mom emailed the principal's boss
that I have done so, and it became a big thing. The principal tells me to not come into work and that I don't think you should be here for the rest of the year because of the situation, and you should not have engaged with that student and need to understand where those students are coming from. I don't think this will affect my ability to get a normal teaching job, but I still feel rotten about it and keep wondering what I could have done differently and went wrong. Okay.
You're the a-hole. You're the a-hole. Yeah, you're the a-hole because you're a grown 30-year-old man telling a 17-year-old student that they're easy to get with. That's messed up on every level possible. I don't even know why you're on the website Reddit asking this question. Holy cow, I don't even know why you're asking if you're the a-hole or not, because it is very obvious that you are. Next one. Hopefully I don't mess up the reading.
Am I the a-hole for telling my husband he has it easy? I'm 7 months pregnant. It has been very difficult for me with all the medical stuff and chronic pain I'm constantly dealing with. My husband gets annoyed every time I bring up how much pain I feel. Red flag. It's not like I complain constantly, but it has slowed me down, which made my husband think I'm looking for excuses to not getting anything done.
Your husband sounds lame.
Yesterday morning I woke up with terrible back pain. After I vented about it and expressed my discomfort, he snapped at me and told me that I was acting like a spoiled princess and that I'm a mother. I should start acting like one. I snapped back. As you should, queen. As you should. I snapped back saying that he doesn't get to dictate how I should feel. Period, queen. Period. And deal with what I'm dealing with because he has no idea what it's like. He was like, yeah, we're in this together, but I'm not gonna say this sentence out loud. Blank. I told him yes, but he's not the one doing the work. So he has it easy. He looked at me shocked and went quiet for a minute. And then he said, how typical, trying to use the I'm a mom card against me already. How much leverage are you planning to get with that? Which hurt because he already made me feel like I'm milking it. We argued about it, and then he left, refused to respond to my phone calls all day. In the evening, he got distant and ignored me. When I tried to speak to him, he said that telling him he has it easy was way out of line and an awful attempt to discredit his efforts and sacrifices, but all he does is provide.
You're not the a-hole. First of all, your husband sounds like a baby. I'm sorry to admit it, but he's acting like a little baby teenager. And I know it takes time for men to mature. I don't know how old your husband is, but he needs to get a life and mature because right now he's sounding like a baby teenage boy. And it's giving me the ick. But moral of the story, no, you're not the a-hole. Your husband's lame. Get a new one. I rest my case. Next one. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister that she has an easy life? So it's kind of like the same scenario from the last one, but not the same story. My sister, let's call her Hope, is extremely successful. Extremely more than I could have imagined. She did work hard for it and prepared herself for years, so I guess she deserves it. We don't get to see her often since she's always busy, but checks on us most often. I manage the Instagram of her dog, and I take care of it. So she talks to me almost daily, and usually FaceTimes me and the dog. I love her, but I can't stand her, specifically since everyone seems to adore her. A few days ago, we were FaceTiming along with my other sister, and I asked how she was, although I didn't care. It was one of those things you could ask to be nice. She said she had been feeling sad lately, and then asked if she can vent about something for a little bit. I immediately lost it, since I don't know what she could be sad about. Okay, you're already sounding like the a-hole. Like, you don't know what she's going through. She just came back from Italy, where she was surrounded by designers that love her. She had a boyfriend that everyone seems to adore. She is doing great at work, making lots of money, getting lots of chances, and currently about to travel again. People that work with her love her. I'm taking care of her annoying dog. I told her that I was sorry she was sad, but she has nothing to be sad about since her life is actually pretty easy and comfortable. I'm stopping the story there because I've read the rest. And you're 100% the a-hole. Okay, this one's called Am I the a-hole for dyeing my hair a new color? I feel like you're not gonna be the a-hole because why would you be an a-hole for dyeing your hair? I, female 22, have been dyeing my hair the same color for about 3 years now. For some context, when I moved out of college, I started experimenting with my hair, fell in love with dyeing it a vibrant red. Recently, my friend, female 21, has been working up the courage to dye her hair. She has been asking me questions about hair dye for weeks. 3 days ago, she told me that she was ready to color her hair for the first time. So she called me while at Sally Beauty and asked me questions about what products to get. She ended up picking out the same red color that I normally dye my hair. I was very excited for her and highly recommended the hair dye brand. A few hours after the call, I felt inspired to change my hair too. Oh, I feel like I know where this is going. I felt inspired to change my hair too. So I went and picked up some black hair dye to try something new. Last night, my friend drove over to my house. It's an hour drive. And I dyed her hair red in my bathroom. We laughed, watched YouTube, and had a fun time while we waited for the bleach to dye and to work. It took a couple of hours to dye her hair, but she said that she was happy with the result. Since it had gotten pretty late, my friend said she was tired and went to sleep on the couch in my living room. I wasn't very tired, so I stayed up and dyed my hair black. The next morning, my friend was surprised that I dyed my hair. I thought she was surprised to see me with a different color since I had had red for a while now. But my friend wouldn't really talk to me and left my place earlier than expected. I was worried about her. So I texted her to see if she was feeling okay. She texted me back that she didn't know I was going to dye my hair black. She told me that she was really upset because we were supposed to have matching hair. I knew she picked out the same hair dye I normally use, but I didn't realize the goal was to have matching hair with me. She called me an a-hole because she has really bright red hair. Now I have a more natural color. No, you're not the a-hole. In my opinion, she should have communicated to you that she wanted matching hair. You're not the a-hole in this situation at all. Okay, that is it for this YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed. I have another video coming out soon. I missed Monday because I was busy, but as y'all know, I am a fan of Cat's Eye. Let's just say you're gonna be getting a Cat's Eye video Monday. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. Bye!